Hello YouTube, it's Ticky's Trinkets here, and today I have for you another Five Nights at Freddy's tutorial. This is Foxy the pirate from Five Nights at Freddy's 1, at least I can remember what game this is from. Just to tell you a few things about it before we get into the tutorial, he has a hook for a hand like he does in the game. This is just made out of a hoop earring loop that I just cut up. You'll see that in the video. His legs are metal wires. They do sell metal wires like this at Walmart, but it's not as sturdy, so I don't recommend getting the Walmart kind. This is like something from Michael's or Hobby Lobby. It'll be in the floral department for flower arrangement. He is on a base. Oh, I did say that this was going to be sitting, not standing, but, you know, I decided to do it standing because I know that's what you guys like to see, and you guys are the reason my channel is so awesome, so I just want to make everybody happy. I mean, I can't really make everyone happy, but you get the gist. But yeah, it's on a wooden base that I've just covered in duct tape. Let's do a 360 real quick. Oh, the back was faded in the video because I actually forgot to clean this after. I forgot to clean it before I baked it. So it looked kind of faded or whatever, but sorry, I lost my train of thought. Yeah, it looked faded, but after I, like, cleaned it off and baked it or whatever, after I cleaned it, it eventually faded back into the color it was supposed to be, including the black strap, which was extremely faded, which, again, you can't really see too well. There we go, because it was having problems focusing. And it cleaned off all the dust pretty good, so the nail polish remover trick worked. I highly recommend that trick if you forget to clean it before you bake it. Rubbing alcohol does not clean it after you baked it. I tried. Did not help me a lick. And the other thing is, his eyes glow in the dark. As you can kind of see here. It's a lot more impressive in person, trust me. But yeah, oh, and after this, I will have a video clip of the people who requested that I make this. I just kind of go through and say the channel names of who requested it. And thank you all guys for requesting it. I really do hope you enjoy this. And I think that's pretty much it. So let's go ahead and see who requested it. And then, oops, we'll get to the tutorial. Alright. Bye-bye. Okay, so several people requested that I make Foxy of FNAF 1. First was Mr. Gameplays. Next was, where are they? Foxy with the little kind of smiley face XD, or, you know, it might just be XD. Asked if I could make Foxy or Mangle. And Dayron Navarro, again, probably butchering it, also requested it again. And I believe that was it. Yeah, that was it. Those are all the people that requested that I make Foxy from Five Nights at Freddy's 1. I hope you all very much enjoyed this tutorial, and thank you all so much for commenting and all your positive vibes, and again, other people who have requested other things. I am working on those things as quickly as I can. Thank you again so much, and I will see you all in the tutorial. Bye-bye. Alright, for this tutorial, you're going to need the following colors. Some are Primo, some are Sculpey. It's just a matter of preference. First, we're going to start out with the tan Sculpey color. It is tan. And we're going to roll out 3 balls, working on his lower abdomen and his legs. I am drinking coffee while doing this. You're going to start with the biggest ball to make his torso. You're going to roll this into a fat teardrop shape. And then to make sure this is flat on one side, just press it down with the center of the palm of your hand. Showing off my bling again. Just kidding, I'm right-handed, so I have to hold the camera with my right hand. And this is just kind of to show you how flat it is on one side. I know, it's like a really bad picture. Then to make it flat on the top, I also flattened it out with my finger. And then to make sure it was extra flat and even, I cut it with my X-Acto knife. I like to be very thorough, as you all know by now. Sorry if you hear squeaking, you know it's my chair. Next, I took the 2 little balls and rolled these into very long teardrop shapes. And then to make sure these are both flat, I cut off the tops and bottoms of both. Then, like I talked about in the beginning of this video, to make it a little more rustic at the bottom, I just cut it up a little, use the serrated edges on the blade itself to kind of roll over it. It was cool. Next, you're going to take 2 pieces of metal wire, make sure it's long enough to where to go up through the pants legs and into the torso, as you can see here. Then I just went on ahead and attached it. You can go ahead and glue it if you'd like. Waiting for the next picture. Okay, now we're into the Primo silver. You can use Sculpey silver. I just like this one has more of a sheen, more shine to it. I just rolled out 1 big ball, and we're going to use this ball to make both of his feet. So first, you're just going to flatten it to the thickness that you would like. It's not even a centimeter thick. It's hard to explain the thickness. It's a preference. It's how you'd like it. Then cut off all 4 excess edges, added bias, that way it's angled like this, because we need to cut it out and make it into these triangular type shapes. And then I use that as a stencil and put it on top of the other piece and cut another foot shape off. And then this is what they look like when I was done doing that. Then just go ahead and stand the body up on top of the feet, not puncturing through the feet, obviously. Once I got them posed the way I liked, I went on ahead and put glue on both the legs at the top part and the feet at the bottom. Next, I just took another little thing of silver to make his hand, the excess that we had a minute ago. Cut this and made it a bit smaller. Then I indented where the finger S type nubs are. This is just my way of doing it. And then I just set this to the side for now, because now we're going to go ahead and go on to the red part, which I use Sculpey red. And I rolled out all the balls of clays that I would need for that, which is right here, which is about 8 balls. I know, I should count these ahead of time. We're going to start with the largest one first to make his upper torso. So we're going to take this large ball and roll it into a fat teardrop shape like we've done a million times now. You're probably bored of teardrops, but that's the key to everything. Then press this down nice and flat again, showing off the ring again. Then we need to make this flat on both sides, well, even, so we cut them off on both sides to make it nice and even. Make sure the lower torso lines up perfectly with the bottom part of the top part of the pants. Next, we're going to make Foxy's head, so we're going to start with this ball right here. And you're just going to roll this into a teardrop shape, but make it really thin on one side, and then pinching it between your fingers, roll it out and pinch it on the other side. Then you're going to make this nice and flat like we've done before, pressing down with the center of the palm of our hand, as such. And then you're going to take your blade, whatever type of blade you have, and cut out 2 triangles on the edges, like so, to make Foxy's whiskers, is I guess what they're called. Now we're done with the head for now, so now we're going to go on to the ears. You're going to take 2 balls, make sure they're the same size. I had to add a little more excess clay to that left one. It was a little nubby. Roll out 2 teeny tiny fat teardrop shapes. Then cut them to where they're flat on one side. This kind of flattens them out on the back side as well. And since they're flattened from being against the surface, just stick your pointed tool up into it to give it the indentations the ears have, and then you can go ahead and stick this on the head. You can go ahead and glue the ears on or blend them on, or both glue and blend. Next, we're going to go ahead and move on to his upper arms. I don't remember what that's called, his shoulders / area. And we're going to roll these into 2 fat teardrop shapes, again, making sure they're nice and even. Then you're going to cut these in half, or 70-25. And the bigger piece, just go ahead and stick on the top part of the torso, like I've done right here. Next, we're going to make the lower part of the arms. I don't know anatomy, people. I'm sorry. We're going to take these 2 balls of clay, and we're going to roll these into like nubs, kind of like oval shapes. See, right here. And then take your glue, and you can go ahead and glue this on to the position you like. I just chose the arms slightly pointed outward, one higher up than the other. It was just the pose that I thought was cute. Then go ahead and glue the silver hand on that we set to the side, and this is what we had thus far. Next, you want to go ahead and put a metal rod into it so that you can insert the head on the top, but do not glue the head yet. As you can see in this next picture right here, I went on ahead and just stuck the head on to make sure it looked nice and even. Then I took it back off so we can indent where the eyes go with a small dotting tool, and I also indented where the mouth was going to go. Next, we're going to make the eyeballs, so I'm going to take this glow-in-the-dark Sculpey clay. I don't know if they make glow-in-the-dark in Primo. I know they do in Fimo, but again, it's a matter of preference. Just roll these out into 2 really teeny tiny balls, like it's about as big as the dotting tool itself. Just drop those right into the sockets. That sounds very morbid. Take your pointed tool and indent where the irises are going to be. And Foxy has the yellowish color eyes, which is why I have this Primo yellow, this really neon-y yellow. And to fill in the irises, you're just going to take 2 teeny tiny balls and roll them in the thin teardrop shapes like such. And then just stick it right into the sockets on the head, as so. Make sure they stick out a little, but not too much. You don't want his eyes like boing. He doesn't need boing eyes. Next, I took this, I think it's a Primo pink. I can't remember the color. This is the last little bit I got, so, it's kind of hard to tell. Roll out 2 balls, and we're going to start with the larger ball first, as you can see right here. This is going to be his stomach, so we're going to roll this into a thin teardrop shape, making it thinner near the top. And then, in order to make sure it'll lay flat on him, you need to roll it out nice and smoothly, like so. And then this little excess piece at the top, the little nub that we don't need, go ahead and cut that off and make it flat. I use my X-Acto knife, but you can use your long blade to make sure it's more smooth and even. Then you can go ahead and press that on, glue it on if you want it to be more secure. But make sure you don't get it on the head. Next, I just took this pink ball, the other one, and this is going to be his snout / his mouth. So you're going to roll this into a teardrop shape, a small teardrop shape, kind of like a nub. And then like we've done before, you're going to roll it out flat with your rolling pin or your X-Acto knife. Then again, just like with the one before, you're going to cut off the excess to make sure it's nice and flat. Then before you attach it to the face, you want to indent where the nose is going to go. So just indent a small dot, depending on how big you want his nose to be. And then go ahead and glue that onto his face. Next, you're going to take a little bit of the excess pink clay and roll it out into a teeny tiny ball. We're only doing his eyelids on one side because the eye patch is covering up the other eyelid. So just kind of pinch it out until it's pointed on both ends, but kind of rounded like a rainbow at the top. And then just go ahead and lay that on top of his left eye. It looks like his right eye, but it's a mirror image from where you're looking at. Next, we're going to take the black clay. This is the Walmart brand clay, actually, which is very soft, and I actually do like the soft clay when I need to really work with something. Roll out these 4 balls that you will need, and we're going to start with the small ball, which is what we're going to use to make his nose. And just kind of roll it into an oval shape and place it in the indentation we made before. Excuse me. Next, we're going to take this medium-sized ball. Oh, coffee is good. Then you're just going to kind of press it over his nub that we had. This is going to be like the bottom part of his hook hand. Next, you're going to take this other small ball, and we're going to roll this into a teardrop shape. As you can see right here, just a small teardrop. Then we're going to press this down nice and flat with our finger. You don't really need to use your hand, just use your fingertip. That'll work great. Then go ahead and cut off the excess using your X-Acto blade or your long blade. This is going to be his eye patch, and now we're done with that part of it. So you can just go ahead and take your glue and very gently dab a small dab and go ahead and stick it on above his eye. Now we're going to make the strap that holds the eye patch on. So take this fairly large ball of black clay and go ahead and roll this out to a nice smooth blob. And then to make it nice and square so we can cut it more evenly to make the strap, just go ahead and cut off the excess. Again, this is why I like Walmart clay, the kids clay, because it rolls out so easy. It's like butter. Then just go ahead and cut a strip off of that. Save the excess just in case you mess up and want to, make it look better. Go ahead and attach it to the eye patch and wrap it around his head. As you can see right here, this is the front view, this is the back view. I just wanted to give you a 360 perspective on what it looks like. Then just flip it back over and cut off the excess. You don't want it hanging off for no reason. You want it to look like it's wrapped around his head. And this is what we have so far. Now we're going to go ahead and do the hook for the hand because we're done with all the clay. So just take an earring loop that you don't want anymore, or go buy some earring findings, cut off the little circle, take the screw and ball off, and cut off the excess wire. As you can see here, it looks pretty cute, right? Then take your glue, dab a little on the straight edge end, and then just stick it right in and point it the direction you want it facing. Again, this is not a toy, it's, you know, a work of art. That's why it has real metal. And now we're ready to bake. Usually I bake the pieces separately and assemble them, but this wasn't necessary for this one, so I baked it as a whole. Bake according to package instructions. As you can see, I forgot to clean it ahead of time, so we'll deal with that in just a moment. Next, we're going to make the wooden base while it's baking. Take a piece of wood and this checkered pattern duct tape, and just cut the tape to fit around the wood. Cut the excess, fold it over. Then to do the other half, repeat the same process. Cut the excess, fold it over. To make sure it was nice and sturdy, I completely covered the bottom in duct tape as well. Now your sculpture should be ready to take out of the oven. Now we're going to clean it because we messed up and forgot to clean it beforehand. Take your nail polish remover and Q-tips and really go to town on that thing. As you can see, it looks kind of faded, but the color will revive. It just takes some time. It needs to breathe. Now just take your E6000, go ahead and glue it to your base. To make sure it doesn't fall over, put something behind it, like I did right here. I just propped this up on the base and leaned it against it. Then after that's done, go ahead and paint on the eyes. And you're done with the black acrylic paint, right? Yeah. And you're done. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and stay tuned for more tutorials. And don't forget to give this video a like and comment down below. Bye-bye.